From 5 News, I'm Meteorologist Stephen Elmore. This is your 5+ extended forecast. It's a bit warmer today, even with the overcast start that we had. Starting to see some sunshine break out over the next couple of days. That's going to boost temperatures, especially by the time we get to the end of the week and into this upcoming weekend. Right now, Thursday, Friday, it looks like it's going to be our warmest for the work week. Even heading into the weekend on Saturday, it looks like we're going to see those temperatures still into those low to mid 90s across northwest Arkansas. By the time we get to the end of the weekend, start to get a little bit cooler just because of some rain chances. I'd say the latest update that we have for you as terms for this weekend is that cold front is stalling a little bit. It doesn't look like it arrives until by the time we get to Tuesday is when we could see some real relief from the summer temperatures returning into the forecast. It looks like by the time we get to Thursday, at least through Saturday, maybe even by the time we get to Sunday, we could still be seeing the summer heat making its last stand. Morning temperatures heading into tomorrow morning for our Wednesday morning, starting off into those low to mid 60s across northwest Arkansas. Overall comfortable start. We could have some more fog for tomorrow morning. This morning had some patchy fog out there across the river valley, starting off into those upper 60s for tomorrow. I think we avoid starting off into the low 70s for our Wednesday morning. Dew point value is going to be a little bit more muggy and heading into tomorrow as well, back up into those mid to upper 60s. The humidity is building throughout the rest of this week. That's why by the time we get to Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday, heat index values anywhere from those mid 90s up to the triple digits we could see in the next couple of days, with Friday potentially being our warmest day. Tomorrow's daytime highs for our Wednesday getting just a little bit warmer. Going to see a little bit more sunshine. It's going to be a little bit more muggy outside. Temperatures tapping out into those upper 80s for tomorrow. Some low 80s will be possible, but I think most of us anywhere between those mid to upper 80s. 88 in Rogers, 88 in Bentonville, 87 in Salem Springs, 87 to Pea Ridge, 86 in Eureka Springs, 87 there in Fayetteville, 86 in Prairie Grove, 86 in Elkins, 86 in Huntsville, and 85 there in Hinesville. Across the river valley, some places are going to be on those low 90 alerts for tomorrow, and we are only going to get warmer as we go on throughout the rest of the week. I think a majority of us stay into those upper 80s for our daytime highs, but some low 90s, especially across eastern Oklahoma, cannot be ruled out for tomorrow's daytime highs. 89 in Paris, 87 in Charleston, 87 in Ozark, 89 in Fort Smith, 89 in Van Buren, 90 there in Poto for tomorrow. We could see some low 90s again, especially across eastern Oklahoma. 88 in Waldron, 88 in Mansfield, and 87 down to Heavener. Again, winds going to start to come up from the south starting tomorrow, start to build that heat, that humidity. That's only going to climb throughout the rest of this week. Afternoon highs over the next couple of days. This is where it could get uncomfortable. Our 3-day stretch between Thursday, Friday, Saturday is when we have the greatest chances of seeing those heat index values back up into the upper 90s across northwest Arkansas. Real temperatures expected to be into those low to mid 90s. This is almost summer's last stand, because by the time we get to Sunday, that will be the first official day of fall, and temperatures still going to be fighting the battle to stay out of those low 90s. We are going to see some cooler air come in for Sunday, Monday, mainly due to some rain chances. Tuesday is when that cold front, now that it's stalling, may be arriving to officially bring in that much cooler air. Where we see that big difference is early next week. We're going to be stuck in this hot, muggy summer pattern, looks like, to end the work week and into this weekend. Across the river valley, that's where we will have the potential of maybe seeing some heat advisories. For Friday, Saturday, it looks like the best chance right now. Friday looks to be our warmest day with real temperatures into those mid 90s. It's important to hydrate over the next couple of days, especially with the week that we've had to start. With yesterday and today having overcast skies, it's been comfortable-ish outside, a little bit cooler. Now by the time we get to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that summer heat is going to come roaring back to levels that we haven't seen in a little bit. Temperature is expected to be topping out into those mid to upper 90s. Heat index values anywhere from those upper 90s up to 105 across the river valley. Changes coming for the end of the weekend, mainly due to some rain chances. Cold front sweeps in heading into early this upcoming work week. That's going to help bring some real relief back to the forecast, maybe about a 10 to 15 degree difference in temperature between Friday and by the time we get to next Tuesday. That also is going to play a factor in our heat index with the humidity building, temperatures building, those winds coming out of the south. Again, heat index values for Thursday, Friday into Saturday could be anywhere between those upper 90s up to 105. I think our zones of where we could see the warmest temperatures, obviously across the river valley, Friday has the best chances of anywhere between 100 up to 105. Northwest Arkansas between Thursday and Saturday, we could see those heat index values into those mid to upper 90s. Maybe Friday reach up into the triple digits. Just see where that cold front comes in. By the time we get to the end of the weekend into early next week, temperatures returning back to average for this time of year, if anything just a little bit above average, as now we are heading into the fall season. Here's a look at a mid-range model of what we could see for some future feels like temperatures reaching all the way out until Thursday. Already starting to see those heat index values into those upper 90s, some triple digits across the river valley, Northwest Arkansas around those mid to upper 90s. This is going to be the start of really the 3-day stretch that we're looking at as the hottest. By the time we get to Friday, I think we could see some places across the river valley into those 100 to 105 zone for the heat index values. Northwest Arkansas into those upper 90s, maybe a triple digit reading for those heat index values. This is all because that omega is building, that high pressure is building, causing to see kind of all this warm, moist air coming up from the south, and that's going to cause this kind of arc around the central United States, where we have cooler air further out towards the west and cooler air further out towards the east. But right in the center is where this ridge is building. That's going to allow all this warm, moist air to come in. So this is a look heading into our Wednesday. Going to start to see that warmer air coming in. By the time we get to Thursday and Friday, really start to notice this bubble that's going to be moving in of temperatures really starting to warm up, and that's going to last through the weekend. By the time we get to Sunday, that's when we could start to see that cold front working its way in, maybe bringing some rain chances, but overall, not until we get into early next week, we see that cooler air finally arrive. Climate Prediction Center certainly agrees with the above average temperatures expected across the central United States. That's coming later on this week. And even as we get into the longer range models between the 8 to 14 day outlook that reaches until the first day of October, still expecting to see those above average temperatures continuing even and panning past next week. I think that cold front that comes in by the time we get sometime, it looks like Monday into Tuesday, heading into next week, a week from today, that's when that cold front's going to arrive to bring some major relief. I think that may bring enough of that cooler air down where it's going to start to feel like fall. So those highs anywhere between those upper 70s and low 80s once again. But until we get a week from today, we're going to continue to just see temperatures climb back up into those summer levels, to some levels that we haven't seen in a little bit. Rain chances do increase by the time we get into late into the weekend, early this upcoming week. We're going to be seeing temperatures also dropping off a bit heading into Sunday. Those rain chances coming with the potential cold front moving in early into the week, though. I think really the Saturday, Sunday rain chances very low. Maybe just seeing a scattered shower or two. Monday looks like it could be our greatest chances of seeing a few more of those scattered showers. And right now, we need the rainfall. This drought monitor that we're looking at is a little bit old. It's outdated. It's updated every Thursday. So here in the next couple of days, we're going to get an update. Between the last reading that we had this past Tuesday, this is what we got back. We had that level 1 zone across Northwest Arkansas, just that dry zone reaching into portions of the river valley, portions of into the Ouachitas. We have some of that dry area as well. I think since we haven't got much rainfall in between the readings that happen from Tuesday to Tuesday, and then they get posted on Thursdays, I think between those readings, they're collecting it today. We haven't had much of any rainfall. It's going to maybe bring us a little bit of a shock factor of what the drought monitor is going to say for us. So far this summer, we've been abnormally wet. We've had lots of rainfall. It's also been helping our leaves start to change color a little bit earlier, but now we're entering into this dry stretch where we could see more areas across Northwest Arkansas and even into the river valley start to creep up on some drought concerns until we get a good heavy rainfall. And I even think with this cold front that's coming for Monday into Tuesday, that's not expecting to bring any heavy rainfall, a few scattered showers at best. So we could be entering into a time where we start to see more and more of those drought concerns start to build. Hopefully we don't get to the time where we have those burn bans. This is a really weird time to have those drought concerns because leaves starting to fall. It's dry outside. It's also getting cooler with these cold fronts. People like to have those fires outside, whether it be grilling or eventually with the cooler air coming in the next couple of weeks, start to see some bonfires. This is where we get into that zone where leaves become really flammable, and we could see the potential of some burn bans out there. So hopefully we get that good heavy rain and we eliminate these drought concerns that we're starting to build. Morning temperatures over the next couple of days, again, getting warmer as you head out the door. Temperature is going to start off into those low 70s towards the end of the work week into this weekend. And then by the time we get to Monday, Tuesday, really cooler air start to filter in, and those rain chances going to help cool off things as well. Early next week, I think we could start off into some upper 50s and low 60s across northwest Arkansas, across the River Valley, mid to upper 60s. But at least for the end of the work week into the weekend, it's going to be muggy outside, and it's important to remember football obviously back for Friday. Those high school athletes hydrating throughout the week as temperatures starting off into those 70s are ready for Friday morning. By the time we're getting to kickoff at 6, 7 o'clock, those daytime highs those days going to be up into those mid to upper 90s, heat index values into the triple digits. So it's important to hydrate throughout the week so we are not caught off guard by the time we get to game time on Friday. Of course, more games happening for us by the time we get to the weekend. Hogs traveling down to Auburn. Right now the forecast looks good. Temperatures should be topping out into those upper 80s, low 90s. Heat index values expected to be into those mid to upper 90s as well. Can't escape the heat if you are planning on traveling down to Alabama. Kickoff at 2:30, right during that peak heating hour. So it's going to be the warmest time of the day right at kickoff. Hopefully by the time we get towards the end of the game, we're not only leading on the scoreboard, but also we're seeing temperatures start to cool off as well. Overall, though, I would dress for a summer day if you are planning on making the trip down to Auburn, Alabama. Coming up this Saturday for the Hogs. Northwest Arkansas over the next 10 days, temperatures climbing back into some levels that maybe some folks don't want to see. Those low 90s for Thursday, Friday into Saturday. We're going to see those heat index values climbing up to the mid to upper 90s. Some cooler air starts to work its way in towards the end of the weekend and into Monday, but you can see where that cold front actually comes in, bringing in the cooler air. That's going to be Monday into Tuesday. Low rain chances really exist all throughout, scattered shower or two, but when we just took a look at the drought monitor that we're going to get an update on here in the next couple of days, we're already dry, and really without any significant rainfall, we're expected to get even worse outside, especially with this Omega building. We're seeing this warm, moist air across the central United States. Not the best case scenario that we're landing in right now, just because we're getting close to fall, but summer is wanting to make its last stand, especially this week. Good news is, long-range models showing that late next week, we could see that cooler air stick around for a little bit. Temperatures by the time we get to Tuesday with that cold front moving through, at least to the end of the next work week, should be starting to top out into those upper 70s and low 80s. Until then, complete opposite heading into this weekend. Across the River Valley, temperatures into those mid-90s for those real temperatures. Heat index values very well could be into those triple digits by the time we get to Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday. Some low rain chances pop up for the end of the weekend, and then that cold front sweeps in Monday, Tuesday, bringing maybe a scattered shower or two. Really, what it's going to be doing is filtering in some cooler air. Temperatures able to drop back down into those low to mid 80s by the time we get to next week. But as for this week, it looks uncomfortable. It looks warmer. Starting to feel like summer once again later on this week. So be prepared for it. You have to work outside. If you got those kiddos who are student athletes, hydrate throughout the week. This time of year, we start to not think about that as much because it's getting a little bit cooler in the morning, got a little bit more cloud coverage, especially for the start of this week. It's been pretty comfortable, to say the least. Later on this week, not so comfortable. Temperature is going to be climbing about 10 to 15 degrees back up into those upper 90s, heat index values into the triple digits. So be careful out there. Even though it's not that excessive heat, it's still going to be that uncomfortable heat later on this week and into the start of the weekend. Early signs showing that late next week, that's when we finally start to cool down just a little bit. Sunday, of course, the first day of fall. From 5 News, I'm meteorologist Stephen Elmore. That's your 5+ extended forecast.